his position of kind of non-resistance is actually a position of privilege. So like that, when he says that, like, well, I mean, I'm just, this is just me, that he's actually taking a side. So I think that when you're juxtaposing that against Patrick Mahomes, who's 24, what is he, 25? 24?
24.
Who's 24 years old. I mean, it's apples and oranges. Like, Patrick Mahomes doesn't understand his power yet.
No.
He's just playing football.
Yep.
Whereas Brady understands his power, and as a result, is playing dumb to it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you can't really do against each other.
Yeah, Mahomes also is, like you said, he doesn't know his power, but he's also not the typical young superstar. He's got a pretty good head on his shoulders.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, of course, because he comes from a family.
Right.
He comes from a family of professional athletes.
Right.
So he has a leg up on most.
That's what I mean.
Right.
Than the inner city kid that all of a sudden is a millionaire.
Right, exactly. He has a leg up on most because his dad, Pat Mahomes, pitcher for the Mets, has obviously given him at least the groundwork to understand what to deal with.
Right. The proper tools,
Mets.
right.
He wasn't a pitcher for the fucking Brewers. Like, he pitched in a place where he understood that he could teach this kid what he needs to know about dealing with things, in a media landscape. Especially
being a black athlete in that time, in that area, in that climate.
Yep.
Yeah, that gives you a really good base to come from, man. That really gives you a good support base.
When did Mahomes Sr. pitch? In the 70s?
No. It was the 90s, wasn't it?
Gotta be. Yeah, I mean, come on, Al, man.
I remember Pat.
I'm sorry. I don't. I know he pitched for the Milwaukee.
Because if Pat Mahomes was born in the 70s, he'd be our age. I mean, he's
he's 50.
Yeah. He's 50. He's my age. Jeez.
Right.
That's my age.
He would have been a baby.
Oh, my
then.
God.
My bad.
Yeah.
And how old is Brady?
It's like one of the big stats of the day is that Brady is how old is Brady?
43.
43, and Patrick Mahomes' dad is 50. How fucked up is that?
That's craziness.
Well, Mahomes, like you said, Mike, he was given the proper tools to navigate, being insanely rich at an insanely young age, not to mention how talented he is, but right, he didn't have the the stereotypical, some of these kids, they come from nothing and they got to figure it out.
Right.
They got to figure it out on their own.
They got to figure it out, right?
Especially in football. That happens a lot more in football than in baseball for Americans.
Yeah.
I tell you, the talent that comes
from Hispanic players from other places, but in football that happens for American, like urban kids.
But as far as urban, African American athletes from this state, Mike, during football season on Friday night here, this high school football is on television, and these teams, they don't play like Oyster Bay plays Glen Cove. Huntington plays Carl Place. No, these kids here from Ocala and down in Miami, they play the team from Vegas that Snoop's kid was on. But the issue is a lot of these kids, man, are and they're not dummies. They're intelligent kids. Athletically, they're off the charts.
Yeah,
but they're not given the proper guidance and tools and for them to succeed. It's almost like it's a fucking setup.
Yeah, no, it's not almost like it's a setup, Al. It's exactly a setup.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Yeah, the
that's
system's
my point.
not.
I'm trying to
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's exactly a setup. That's the goddamn point. Because the thing is, they are to the establishment that needs them, where fucking that shitbag in Alabama gets them or that shitbag in wherever gets his money. It's just black bodies that they fucking go through to them.
That's what I was building to. There's so many of these kids are so supremely talented, and it's not like in Glen Cove where there's 2 kids in the town. A town over from me, Ocala. These kids. If there's 50 kids on the football team, 20 of them are getting D1 offers.
Right.
But like you said, they're just another bring in the herd. You know what I mean?
Right.
Lead them to the fucking slaughter.
I know.
Just keep reading.
I know that
keep reading them for me. So.
I know that school you're talking about.
Back to what we were talking about before, not paying the okay. What I'm saying is, I watched them on TV, and it's like watching an NFL game.
Right.
Oh yeah, the production value. It's insane. And crowds. You had high school games with crowds that are as big as NFL stadiums.
I mean, Texas is the same way too, but
yeah,
here it's like a religion, but it's not because they're not giving. Like Mike was saying, it just on to the next one. We'll just bring in another one.
Yeah,
it's just fucking and these kids. They see diamonds in the sky, man. It's like, oh man, I'm gonna get wealthy, but they don't have the proper. They're not ready. They're not ready for it. I don't know.
Yeah, America eats its young, man. That's like P Funk said, man. America eats its young.
Well, America eats black young.
Yes,
yeah. Well, hey, America, has done a pretty good job of chewing up, Latino youth and
black and brown. That's what I'm talking about.
People of color, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's
100%.
A guy I played softball with, 50 and over. His son went to Bethune-Cookman, which is a D1 school, but it's not Alabama,
right?
And he was their starting cornerback. Kid was probably going to the league. Fractured tibia. Next,
right?
They just took his scholarship.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then it's like, what does this poor kid do now? It's like he's fractured tibia. He can't play ball. You yank his scholarship. You don't at least give him a scholarship so he can go to school and teach football. Or
this particular kid had a little bit of a head start, but I mean, his dad was still in the picture and what have you. Not that stereotype, but it's
shit.
He's
man,
lucky,
it happens. It's all over America, dude. It's all over fucking America.
It's just
black community,
here.
white
That's all I'm
community,
saying.
all over the place.
It's like Mike said, just breed another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And don't even get me started with this fucking state, bro. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I know. It's an absolute tragedy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like living here because it's nice to have no snow. I mean, tonight it's, what is it? Freezing here for Floridians. It's 44.
Oh, my God.
Completely abnormal.
Sweet Lord.
Fuck you, Al.
I'm just saying. No, aside from that, Mike, this is the point. I'm a fucking outsider in this state, man, because I can't deal with these people, man. But I'm obviously not moving back to New York. These fucking redneck motherfuckers, man. Everybody's got 20 guns, and it's just, I can't, man.
I hear you, man.
And all of them. Listen, I've been all over the country in the Marine Corps.
Right.
Yep.
This state is. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to Georgia. This state is fucking the worst racist state. It's so bad, man, and they don't even give a fuck, Mike.
Oh yeah,
they don't even give a shit.
And they've got
now that Trump came along, forget about it.
They're so emboldened.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And guys, listen, we've been talking about this. We've known each other for a quarter of a century, and every single one of us has been talking about the rise of white nationalism and the infiltration of white nationalism into the power structure of the United States. It's been going on since the 70s.
I drive up the road to Publix to get groceries or something I need. When this race was going on, man, the campaigns and shit, these fucking clowns are in the back of pickups, Mike, with Trump flags, with shotguns in their hands.
Yeah, I know.
I said to Lauren, I'm like, where the fuck are we?
Yeah. It's like the Taliban.
Right? Am I in Afghanistan?
Right, exactly. Right.
Where the fuck are we? This is not the United States of America. Right. What the fuck is this? And these people think they're fucking Adolf fucking Hitler, man. That they can do and say and.
Well, that's the thing is, unfortunately, it is the history of America, and we've just been fucking ignoring it for so long.
And I play 15 over softball, and now you're talking about a bunch of old white guys.
Don't get jumped.
That I can't imagine the shit you must hear there.
Bro, listen, on my team, I got a guy I know from New York that I hang out with, and our left fielder is a brother from California that moved here, and we pretty much hang out with us three because I can't even be in earshot of a conversation.
But how is it with the brother on the team? Like what like
this was going to be my next point. This guy, Raj is his name.
Uh-huh.
He's down with he understands. But the black people from Florida, bro, it's almost like it's okay.
Oh no. There's a fair amount of Stockholm syndrome that goes along with this. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's totally desensitized to it and totally like, is what it is, whatever.
Many times I said, dude, you can't. How the fuck are you not taking that bat right off the rack and taking this guy's kneecaps out?
Right.
Because
fuck them honky motherfuckers.
It's exactly
how
like.
Am I more mad about this than you?
Well,
because they grew up with it.
Right, yeah. And that's Mike. It's so fucked up that's the answer you give. That's the response I get.
Yeah, right? It's like, you know what, man? It's like Gus Fring said on Breaking Bad. He said, I can't go off like a raving lunatic, and that's a white man's privilege.
Right. Yeah.
It's fucking true, and we see it every day. Finally, it's really gotten to the point where it's in middle America's face. I mean, the Wall of Moms is an example of that. That people, working class middle Americans who aren't people of color are suddenly like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, listen, why would they be able to why would they be able to see it otherwise? It's slightly, I'm not going to say unreasonable, but it's actually understandable that in a position of privilege, you wouldn't be able to understand that you're in a position of privilege. But, however, at this point, it's like, look, I'm trying to make you understand here. So you're not allowed to give me, like, I'm telling you what my life experience is. You're not allowed to tell me, well, but that's not what I mean. It's like, doesn't matter, that's not what you mean. I'm telling you that your actions are enabling this entire thing. So now, all I can do is give you insight to that. If your response to that is to put your guard up, then we're not learning anything here. And if your response is, oh, maybe I'm seeing things in a way that I never saw it before, then my job's done.
Well, I think that's one of the difficult Sorry, I'm having a problem with my mic. I think that's one of the difficult things that